Hello guys, welcome back to Stylized Creations. This is episode number 6 of my tutorial series on how to create a character model using Blender. This video is aimed at beginners, so if you are new to texturing in Blender, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to cover the basics of texturing a character model using a color palette in Blender. Please note that you can download the color palette, links in the description. Now we have a fully rigged character model and we're done with weight painting and the model is looking great. Now we just need to add some color to the model. And if you missed the previous videos on this tutorial series, I've created a playlist. Please feel free to check out the playlist. The link for that will be in the description. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video and that you are still enjoying this tutorial series, and also that you find it helpful for your character modeling journey. And if you do find it helpful for your character modeling journey, please feel free to smash that subscribe button and hit the like button on this video, as it will help me grow and create more content, and it will also help the channel to grow. So let's get started. Okay, now in this episode we are going to create clothing for the character. So we are going to add a little bit more detail to the character, and we're going to give him a little bit of color and a little bit of life for him to stand out from the ordinary, you know. So let's get started. So to do that, let's first left click on the character. We can actually hide the armature, so just come to this step right here and click this little eye icon right next to the armature to hide it. Or you could have just like selected the armature and press H to hide it. So yes, the next thing I want to do is I want to select the character base mesh and press tab to go into edit mode. So in edit mode, let's go into front view by pressing numpad 1, and let's zoom in a bit right about there, and let's go into face select mode by pressing number 3, and let's also go into X-ray mode. So you can press Alt Z is the shortcut for X-ray mode. So yes, right now we are in X-ray mode. Let's continue. So in X-ray mode, let's select these faces. So press Alt and select these faces right about there. And with them selected, just make sure that you select the whole this part of the body. Yes, or you can select this one as well. Anyways, fine. We're going to create a belt. So yes, and then with that selected, press E and to extrude them out, and right click and press S and shift Z, and we can scale them out like that. So with that done, now it looks like he is having a belt. Yes, a belt tied around his waist. So what we can do next is we can go into edge select mode. This is optional though, and we can select this edge and press GG to slide it right about there is fine, and then select the face and press E and extrude it out like that. So now it looks like a belt buckle. So yes, now you can go berserk with this. You can be creative, and maybe let's say you want to add a little bit more detail by pressing E and scale it down, and then select the outer part of the belt buckle and press E again, you know, to make it look nice. So you can actually do that. It's just a little something. So yeah, and the next thing I want to create is the shirt basically. So I'm going for a short sleeve t-shirt. So what I want to do now is I want to add a loop cut right about there for the sleeve. So press Ctrl R, left click and right click to center it right in the middle, and let's go back into X-ray mode again. So press Alt Z and also back into face select mode. So press number 3, and what we can do now is we can press C for circle select. You can just make it a bit bigger. To make it bigger or smaller, just scroll your mouse wheel and left click to select, and just select the part of the shirt that you want. And the reason I'm saying it like that is because maybe you want like a vest, so you will only select like this part of the shirt, maybe you want like an open shirt, so you only select like this part of the shirt and deselect this part. So yes, the choice is yours really. So yes, and then right click when you're done to like deselect the circle select tool, and press E again to extrude and right click. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go into edge select mode by pressing number 2 on our keyboard and select this edge loop. So select this one by pressing Alt and left click. So, and then press S to scale it down. Right about that is fine. Now it's going to look funny from some points. It's actually not looking funny. Nope, it's looking okay. So yes, we are still good to go. And we can add more detail to it by pressing Ctrl R and add a loop cut right about there. And back into face select mode and Alt left click these faces and press GX to move them just a bit to the right. Like that. Now it looks like a shirt's sleeve. So yes. At the neck area, back into edge select mode, press Alt left click. With the neck now selected, make sure that it's going around. You'll know you have the neck selected when it's like going all the way around. So just press S to scale it down, because if you select the shirt, it won't go all the way around, you see. So I'm just selecting the shirt and I want to move it up a bit, so press G, C and move it up a bit like that. And let's come down to the bottom of the shirt, right about here. Oops, let's go back into solid view, select this part, and hit full stop and select this part. So yes, and again, like I used to say, I'm just tweaking it around a bit. So when you're adding detail to your model and like maybe you're creating clothing, always make sure that you're having fun though, because you are the creator and no one else can tell you what to do, you know? So while I still have this part selected, I'm going to press Ctrl and press X. So Ctrl X, and what that does is that dissolves actually the selected edges, not the selected edge loop. So let's say for instance you're selecting this part by pressing Alt left click and you press right click and this window comes up, and then you say dissolve edges. It's more or less the same and it's so much easier to use. So yeah, to dissolve edges quickly, just press Ctrl and X. So yeah, let's move on. Let's come down to the bottom of his pants to right about where his shoes are, and I want to give this guy like a boot. So like a nice looking shoe, boots actually. So maybe like combat boots or military boots or anything. Yeah, so let's go on by pressing Ctrl R, and right about there let's add a loop cut. So left click and right click to center it in the middle. And now let's go back into X-ray mode. So Alt Z, face select mode, circle select tool activated, and select the shoe. Right click and press E, right click again, and let's select this part, or this edge actually, and zoom in or out depending on where you selected, or on what you selected actually. And let's select the other one and press S to scale it out a bit like that, and press Ctrl R again for extra detail. Back into face select mode with number 3 actually, and Alt left click to select those edges or faces actually, and press G, C to move it up like that. And there you have it. Now the character has clothing, but still he's looking a bit dull because he has no colors. Yes, and he's looking a bit gray. So yes, the next thing I want to do is, let me go into object mode. So select again, select object mode. The next thing I want to do is I want to add colors to it. And there's a lot of ways that you can add colors to your character model, or to your model in general. The term is actually called texturing. Now there's a lot of ways that you can go about texturing your model. You can actually use Blender's node system in the shading tab. You can use a color palette. You can use like texture paint mode. But for the sake of this tutorial, you can even use like UV maps. But for the sake of this tutorial and to keep things short and simple, I'm going to use color palettes. So I've already created my color palette, and the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the shading tab. And with this little guy still selected, now you can see that when I change colors, let's come here by the base color. Wait, let me zoom in and do this. Let's come here by the base color, and if we change colors, you'll see that the mesh also changes colors. So, and that's nice, that's what we want. See, let me just do this. I think it's the right one. I'm not so sure. It's F6 times, it's 5, 6. Yes, now it's all white again. And the next thing I want to do is I want to add an image. So let's press Shift A and let's add an image texture. So just S for searching, an image texture. You can place it anywhere and drag from this color to the base color. And let's open an image. Yes. So as you can see, it's looking all weird now, but that's not a problem. Let's go to the UV editing tab. We can do this. Right, now this is what we want. We want to be here right now. And this is the color palette, guys. So yes, let's select let's select this entire UV map, or the model's UVs actually. And let's go into face select mode to make things simpler, and press U. Actually, let's come here and press U and reset. Now as you can see, the UVs of the character, or the faces, is now like this area full, like our entire image texture full. And what we can do now is we can press S and scale it down to right about there. Also, I forgot one thing. Let's go into material preview. So press Z for the spy menu and select material preview. We have just unlocked material preview. Yes. So as you can see now, he's looking a bit blue, but that's what we want. We want him to change colors. As you can see, as I'm moving this around, his colors are changing. It looks actually pretty cool though, like disco lights and stuff. But yeah. And the next thing I want to do is, first I want to select his arm. So let me just deselect and press Alt Z for X-ray mode, and back to circle select with C, and let's just select these parts. Also making sure that you stay in face select mode. It just makes things easier. And we can select the face. I'm going to make this guy bold, because bold is cool though. And we can select a color, we can place it right about there. Or we can maybe use this one. Yes, this one looks fine. I'm still thinking about his hair though. Like, I really want to change his hair, but I don't know which color I want to make his hair. But it's fine. For now, we're gonna leave him like that. Now he looks like a male nurse. Yes. And what we can do is go back into X-ray mode and select the shirt this time. Let me just do this. And we can select the shirt. And this is actually way more simpler than, well, yeah, let's say you want to add seams and stuff like that. Adding seams for me is very fun though, but I prefer this way. And for the shirt color, I don't know, maybe I could have stick with blue. I can make it white, I don't know. Let's give him a red shirt though. Yes, let's give him a red shirt, because he was feeling blue. And for this part, well, this is the part I love actually. Let me just deselect everything and let's press Alt left click the center of the belt. And what we can do next is we can press Control and numpad plus, and this will select the rest of the faces or the vertices. And right now you can just move it around and you can select, I'm going to make the belt like black, and select this part and press Control plus again, and we can make this one silver for his belt buckle. And it's not looking so bad. And for the pants or trousers, let's press circle select again, oops, and let's select the pants like that, and let's give him a gray pants, because, or maybe like, yes, let's give him a gray pants. I don't know why, but yes. And for the boots, we can just box select the boots, doesn't really matter. And again, nope, let's do this, yes. Okay, let me do that again. Now what is this? Well, we can easily fix that with, we do it like this, and select it again. And as you can see, we are almost done with our character. Now I told you that I want him to have military boots, so I'm gonna make them brown. Yes. Now he's not looking so bad. Let's go back into the layout tab, back into material preview by pressing Z and selecting material preview, and he's not looking so bad at all. Now our character looks like an actual character. Yes. And we can unhide the armature, can go back into pose mode. Now you don't have to follow along this part, it's optional, you can do this, and he is really looking good, guys. So yeah. And that is it for, well, basically that's it for texturing the character model. Like, that was the easy way. There are much more longer ways, but the result, yeah, let me mention this, like, it only depends on how you want your character to look like, or what you want your character to look like. If you are satisfied with this result, if you are satisfied with it, then it's okay. But if you want a little bit more detail, maybe you want like scratch marks and like bullet holes in your shirt and stuff, you can actually like go a little bit further by adding seams. So I have done it before with seams, and it is a bit time consuming, but it's worth it. Yes, and there's another way with texture paint and vertex paint, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm only going to cover texturing the model with the color palette. And once again, the color palette will be in the description below for you to download it, and I'm also going to put the model up for downloading as well, so that you can use it. And in the next video, I'm going to start with animating, and yeah, just a basic let's start with the running animation, and then after that one we'll do a walking animation. So yes, and not long, guys, then we'll get started in Unity. So yes, I'm actually looking forward to the Unity videos, the Unity tutorial series videos, because then and there we'll learn various things like walking, picking up a weapon, dropping a weapon, like grabbing the weapon from your back and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm busy preparing it for you guys. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll get started in the next video.